Hello everybody, this is another Hot Wheels collector video. Today we are looking at the Audi S4 Quattro. This car features in the Boulevard Mix 4 for 2023, or the Mix S if you go by letter. So this is a really cool one, and I will quickly mention where I actually found this car then. So I found this car in a local Smyth toy superstore at the price of £8.99. A pretty fair price here in the UK. That's sort of the average price for premium cars here. I was really happy to find this car because I know this one, as well as the Sylvia here in the UK, are the most desirable. However, this whole entire set is going pretty quickly off the pegs. The only one which is peg warming here is the Dodge. That's no surprise, since American cars seem to stay on the pegs here in the UK. Even if they are a really cool car like the Dodge is, I'm really a big fan of how that car was executed. But anyways, back onto this car then. Let me give you some facts about the real life car. So in real life, this car has a 2.7 litre V6 engine, which produces 250 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque converted to 350 newton meters. This car is also all-wheel drive with the Quattro system and has a 0 to 60 in only 5.7 seconds and a top speed of 155 miles per hour. That speed is electronically limited and converts to 250 kilometers per hour. This car originally had a starting sticker price of just $39,450 in 2001, and that converts to £32,400. That's a pretty decent bargain in my opinion for such a cool and beautiful looking car. This car holds up really well for today. It just looks fantastic, and it doesn't look like it's aged one bit. Awesome looking vehicle. This car now has an average market value of about £10,000 here in the UK, and that converts to about $12,200 if you guys are watching in the US. I also do want to quickly give you some history about this casting. So it first debuted in blue in the Deutschland design set for 2021. I'll have a picture on screen right now pop up because I actually don't have that car. It was before I actually started collecting in general, never mind collecting premiums. Then this casting returned for the Deutschland design set in 2022. This time it was painted in a glossy yellow colour. It's quite a washed out yellow colour. It definitely suits this car quite nicely though. I was a big fan of this thing. But I genuinely do think that this white version of this car is just the best version to release so far. I'm a big fan of this Audi racing livery which features on this car. I think it suits this casting fantastically. Great job there from the Hot Wheels team. Anyways, that's it for the facts about this car. Now let's move on to the actual showcase of the Hot Wheels model. Alright, so kicking off this showcase then, we'll first of all take a look at the side of this car. I will quickly mention that this car is so detailed, and there is actually a detail on this car which we have never seen on Hot Wheels cars before, that I can recall anyway. It is a very rare thing to see on Hot Wheels cars, and I'm absolutely over the moon that they're starting to do it. It just adds so much more realism to the car. But let's get straight onto the side of this thing. First of all, I'll mention the wheel choice on this thing. So this car is rolling on the modern 10-spoke wheels which have been moulded in black plastic. Now onto the actual colour of the rest of the car then. The rest of the car is painted in a glossy white colour. And now onto the tamper work on the side of this thing. There's plenty of it. So first of all, we do have some of the rear light of this car wrapping around to the side of this thing. We also do have the Audi Sport logo being tampered in black there on the rear bumper of this car. We then do have the Audi racing stripes including red, grey and black. Then we do have the Audi logo which is being done in white, as well as another Audi logo being done in white and the Quattro logo also being done in white. We have that continuation of those Audi stripes. Then we have the racing number 4 featuring on the door of this car. We also do have the Audi logo returning in white. We also do have some red tamper work behind the Audi badge on that racing number 4 rectangle. I will also mention that that racing number 4 rectangle does have a black outline, and we also do see the Audi Sport logo returning in black as well. And then on the front fender of this car we do have the returning Audi Sport stripes. And then on some of the front bumper here we do have a little bit of black tempo. Interestingly, that does not feature on the card art, as you can see there. But I actually think it adds detail to the car, and I'm a big fan that they actually did it on the casting. I think it looks fantastic. Very nice job there from the Hot Wheels team. And a final piece of tamper work I have not mentioned yet is we do have the door lock on this car tampered in black. Nice bit of detail there. Now let's move on to the actual metal casting itself then. So I will first of all mention that this car does actually have wing mirrors. Very nice detail there, I love that. But this is where the detail is. Look at that. The wing mirrors receive tamper work, silver tamper work, That represents the actual mirror of the real life car. That is fantastic. Big fan of that detail, Hot Wheels team. Please keep that up. Please keep adding this to premium cars. That is stunning. Absolutely fantastic. I'm over the moon with that, people, as you can probably tell. We also do have the door handle of this car modeled into the actual metal casting. I'll mention that all the windows on this car are wound up. And I will also mention that the turn signal light, or the side marker or indicator light, does feature in the metal casting here. However, for some reason it does not get any tamper work, even though, as you can see on the car dot and the real life car, it's done in orange. It does look quite nice not being tampered in orange, but I'm quite confused why they didn't do that. No idea, people. And finally, I will mention that the fuel filler cap does feature on this side of the car in the metal casting as well. And that is it for the side of this thing. What a stunning looking car so far. Absolutely awesome. I think this might be my favourite car of all time. This thing is absolutely awesome. Moving straight onto the front of this thing. As you can tell, I'm super happy and excited about this car. Alright, so taking a look at the front of this car then, this car is just the gift that keeps on giving. So much detail here. It's the same as the previous two releases, other than the fact that this car does receive the Audi Sport logo, being done in black tempo. This car also does receive headlight tempo, and that is really nice detail there. It's done in a realistic look, and that tempo does include white, grey and black. I will also mention that the main front grille of this car is tempoed in black, as well as the S4 badge being tempoed on there as well. That is done in red tempo and silver tempo. And finally, we do have the Audi badge being done in silver tempo as well. Finally, I will mention that the lower vents on this car are also tempoed in black there. And I will also mention that the splitter of this car is created through the black metal base, which is done in matte black. Anyways, that's it for the front of this thing. Now let's move on to the rear of this car. And here is the rear of this thing. My goodness, it's just stunning. Lots of detail here, as you would expect with premium models, but this thing is just absolutely beautiful. So first of all, we do have the Audi badge being tempoed in black. We also do have the rear lights of this car being tempoed in a realistic look. You can see those rear lights do actually include the indicator lights, brake lights and reverse lights. The indicator or turn signal lights have been done in orange tempo, as you would expect. We also have the reverse lights tempoed in white tempo. It's kind of a whitish silver, so we'll go with white because that's the colour of the real life reverse lights. And we also do have the brake lights of this car being tempoed in red, as you would expect. We also do have the entire distance between the two rear lights of this car tempoed in black there. Looks fantastic. Definitely enhances the look of this thing. We also do have the Audi logo returning here, as well as the S4 logo returning, done in silver and red, and the Audi logo, by the way, is done in white. And we also do have the Quattro logo returning here as well, done in white tempo as well. We also do have another Audi Sport logo featuring here on the rear of the car, done in black tempo. And I will also mention we have this metal plate tempoed on there, looks very realistic. It's the first time we've ever seen that on this casting. It's definitely a more race car looking version of this thing. And I think this car just suits this type of look way better than this factory fresh look. I'm over the moon with the look of this thing. Looks great, and that metal plate is tempoed in grey, and it also does have the little bullets on this tempoed in black. Fantastic detail there. The final thing I do want to mention is in the actual metal casting itself. We do have a dual exit exhaust on this thing, which is created through the black metal base, which again, as I've already said, is painted in matte black. Anyways, that's it for the rear of this thing. Now let's move on to the top of this car. Okay, so before we do move on to the top of this car then, I do want to mention that this car is running on slick tyres, and they do not receive any tread. That's totally to be expected though, because this car is going for a track race car look, and generally, in real life, track cars and race cars do roll on slick tyres. But there you go, very cool detail there. I love the attention to detail on this car so far. Alright, so moving on to the top of this car then, the detail does not stop here. Okay, so first of all, the trunk of this car does not receive any extra detail. It's just done in this glossy white colour like the rest of the car. Next up, I will mention that the interior plastic of this car is done in black. I will also mention that this car does actually have a sunroof that is created through the window plastic, which is made to represent the glass of the real life car. I will also mention that this car does actually have a sun strip here, which is tempoed on there. The sun strip is tempoed in black, and then we do have the Audi logo being tempoed in white, as well as the Quattro logo being tempoed in white as well. I will also mention that this car does actually have windshield wipers which feature in the plastic, which is made to represent the glass of the real life car. And the final piece of detail we do see on this car is on the hood of this thing. First of all, we do have the racing number 4 returning from the side of this thing. We also have the Audi logo being done in white returning. We have the red tampo returning in the back behind the Audi logo. We also do have the Audi Sport logo returning in black tampo, and we also do have the rectangle returning with the black outline. Really awesome look there. Just completes this car and makes the hood look a little bit less bare. Anyways, that is it for the top of this car, and that is also it for my showcase of this thing. So now let's move on to my final thoughts and review on this car. Alright, so now it's time for my final thoughts and review on this car. Oh my goodness, is this car beautiful. There is so much detail here. This is just a step up from the previous 2 releases of this car. It looks fantastic. I've always been a fan of these Audi racing livery cars, but this one just looks amazing in it. It definitely competes with the Audi S4 Quattro car, which is a brand new casting for the 2023 mainline. I love that thing too. But this thing is just stunning. I also love the fact that the wing mirrors of this car do actually receive detail in terms of tampo. It's very rare we see that. I actually have never seen that happen before on a Hot Wheels car. But it's just awesome. The attention to detail on this thing is fantastic. I love the colour. I really love the livery. I love the amount of detail. I love the fact it has windshield wipers. This car is just stunning. Absolutely perfect. I genuinely don't think there was anything else they could have improved on this thing. I also love the wheel choice. These wheels suit this car fantastically. Honestly, this is just awesome. Absolutely huge fan here. This is definitely one of my absolute favourite cars. And yeah, that does literally just lead me on my score out of 10 for this thing. So one of this car out of 10 is going to be receiving, as you'll all know, a 10 out of 10. No question about that. It is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to have this in my collection. This is definitely going to be, I think, still an overlooked car. Even though there's loads of hype around it, I think it's still overlooked. I think it's definitely better than the S15 from what I've seen so far, even though that S15 is also beautiful. This mix of Boulevard, I've changed my mind. I think it's the best mix of this year so far. Everything in it is cool. It definitely beats Mix 3 now that I've seen this thing and the Sylvia. I think the Sylvia looks so much better in person, and this car just looks fantastic. I was worried it was going to look a little bit bland, since white cars usually do from Hot Wheels. They usually look like they're missing details. But no, this car does not look bland at all. It looks fantastic, and I'm so happy with how this thing has been executed. Wonderful car indeed. But anyways, that is it for this video. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure to like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and you can also press that notification bell so you do not miss any new uploads. Remember, you can also share this video with any friends or family on any groups who may be interested. But remember, don't feel pressured if you don't feel like you have anybody who may be interested. You watching this video all the way to the end means so much to me, and I really do thank you for making it all the way up until this point. But anyways, that is it for this video. So I hope you guys did enjoy. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye everyone.